Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is my explanation of what is Mario Sluggers League. So, I'll not get too far into this intro, but Mario Sluggers League is a league that focuses on the game Super Mario Sluggers, which is a baseball game. We play 9 innings, the regular baseball settings, and if it goes to overtime, it is 3 innings. But after each inning, whichever team scores the most has won the game. So yeah, moving on. We are in our 10th season now. We play with various items, but we are in our 10th season. So I'm gonna go focus on the history of Mario Sluggers League. Mario Sluggers League was founded in 2021, and there were 2 original members, being myself, YouTuber Monkey Man, and 2 CPU teams. And in season 1, my team is the Mario Fireballs. Monkey Man was the Diddy Monkeys, and the other CPU teams were the Birdo Bows and Bowser Monsters. And in season 1, the award winners there were 4 awards: MVP, Slugger of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Pitcher of the Year. Following that, those awards were Luigi, who was on my team, ended up winning it MVP. Funky Kong of the Diddy Monkeys ended up winning Slugger of the Year. Slugger of the Year is like Offensive Player of the Year, by the way. Defensive Player of the Year was Hammer Bro, the Bowser Monsters, and Pitcher of the Year was Luigi of my team. Yeah, and then season 1, it ended up being my team that won the World Series, and that was really cool. Season 2 saw the removal of the Birdo Bows as a team, adding the Waluigi Spitballs and Daisy Flowers and the Luigi Knights as CPU teams. The first 2, the Luigi Knights, would be created by another GM, who I'm just gonna call GM1, since it's not want me to disclose his name or YouTube channel. And yeah, YouTuber LB Swimmer, he joined the league and took over the Bowser Monsters. And so in season 2, GM1 ended up making it to the World Series alongside myself, yours truly. And the award winners that year were Mario, my captain, ended up winning MVP, and Slugger of the Year ended up going to PD Piranha of the Diddy Monkeys. Defensive Player of the Year was Yoshi of the Mario Fireballs. And Pitcher of the Year, that was so long ago. Well, I forget who it was. We also had those are the 4 awards. And in the World Series, the Mario Fireballs, my team, ended up winning. I went back to back. Yeah. Now, I'm going to move on to season number 3, where in season 3 there was a major trade that happened, being the Luigi Knights sent Hammer Bro and a first-round pick to LB Swimmer for Bowser. LB Swimmer chose Bowser Jr. as his captain. And in case for you were wondering how the captain rules work, there are 12 captains in the game: Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Bowser, Bowser Jr., DK Diddy, Yoshi, Birdo, Wario, Waluigi. If you have a captain on your roster when you trade your captain, and that's not a free agent, that player will automatically become your captain. However, if you have no captains when you trade your captain, you get to pick one from free agency. And LB Swimmer picked Bowser Jr. as his captain and acquired Hammer Bro, getting essentially a new core. Another thing to mention, at the season 2 deadline, LB Swimmer traded Fire Bro to me. More on that later. So with a huge brand new shake up, pretty much, the league entered season 3 with 2 new awards: Comeback Player of the Year, no, not comeback, Breakout Star of the Year, and LVP, which is quite funny. And in season 3, the Diddy Monkeys, aka Monkey Man, finished dead last. And and there was another GM that joined the league, being GM2, He'll be doing interviews. He did not want me to disclose his channel or YouTube channel name. So yeah, he finished in his first season taking over the Waluigi Spitballs in 5th, and the playoffs were myself, LB Swimmer, GM1, and the CPU Daisy Flowers. I ended up sweeping the Daisy Flowers to make it to the World Series, and Bowser faced his old team, the Bowser Jr. Rookies, and I kid you not, in the last inning, GM1 forgot to change his pitcher, leading to the Bowser Jr. Rookies making the World Series. And in the World Series, Season 3 went to all 5 games, and I ended up winning back to back. Now moving on to Season 4, I acquired Diddy Kong from Monkey Man. He decided to blow it up as PD Piranha. His best player was also a free agent. He also traded Red Paratroopa to LB Swimmer for a 4th round pick. And Monkey Man ended up choosing as his captain. He chose Wario as his captain. Now, in the meanwhile, the Luigi Knights made a few trades. The first one being acquiring Blooper from Monkey Man for a 1st round pick. Then he traded a 6th and a 7th for King K. Rool from the former Daisy Flowers, and then he traded a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th to the CPU for Daisy, their captain. The CPU ended up making DK their captain. So yeah. And notable for Season 3, the awards that seasons were MVP was Fire Bro, Slugger of the Year was Funky Kong again, Yoshi ended up winning Depoy, Waluigi Breakout Star of the Year, and Red Magic Pitcher of the Year. But now moving on to Season 4, there are a couple new players and new teams, so no need to get too much further in this. In last place was the DK Wilds, the CPU team. Then it was the worst championship defense ever by the LB Swimmer, who came 5th. Then the playoffs, I swept Monkey Man to advance to the World Series, and GM2 swept GM1, their brothers, so that was funny. Meaning it was me versus GM2. Now, something to note here. The awards for that season, MVP went to Blue Pianta of my team. Slugger of the Year, I forget who won it, but yeah, no point moving further. Defensive Player of the Year was Boshi. He's a complicated character of the Waluigi Spitballs. And Pitcher of the Year went to Waluigi for the first time. And in season 4, I ended up winning again. Now moving on to Season 5, GM1 decided to blow it up. He was the Luigi Knight, so he traded Luigi and everyone else important. He traded Luigi to Monkey Man and chose Yoshi, my player, as his captain, unfortunately, and a new player joined, GM3. He ended up having a season of DK, and in a three-way trade, ended up acquiring Red Critter, the Slugger of the Year from the previous season, ended up acquiring in a 3-team deal that saw me get the first overall pick and select Bowser. This also, yeah, and other notable trades, Fire Bro and Boomerang Bro were traded to the Bowser Jr. Rookies, LB Swimmer. And moving on to season number 5 now, I ended up as the 1 seed. The 2 seed was GM2. Monkey Man returned to the playoffs as the 3 seed, and as the 4 seed it was LB Swimmer. Now I ended up beating Monkey Man, and GM2 beat LB Swimmer to advance to the World Series. Awards that season for season number 5 now. MVP ended up going to Ouija for the first time, not one of my players. Slugger of the Year, once again, kind of forgettable. Slugger of the Year was, I think, Wikipedia, although I'm not too sure on that. I'll have to double check that, but I'm not too sure. Defensive Player of the Year was once again Boshi, and then Boshi is now a player of the Wario Muscles, by the way, which is Monkey Man. Then I'm not going to mention awards too much because they're not really that important. They determine a player's legacy. More on that later. So, and in the World Series, I ended up sweeping GM2 in a rematch. And moving on to Season 6, where LB Swimmer once again blew it up. He traded Bowser Jr. For a first and a third to the Waluigi Spitballs, aka GM2, and he selected Diddy Kong as his captain. Diddy Kong would not be alone, as Funky Kong, who'd had a huge fall off since his 2 Slugger of the Years, would be joining him, and he acquired DK from GM3. GM3 chose to promote Peach as his captain, which everyone hates playing at Peach Dice Garden. And moving on to season number 6, the 1 seed was the Yoshi Eggs, led by GM1. The 2 seed was GM2 and the Waluigi Spitballs. The Peach Monarchs, led by GM3, beat me surprisingly to the 3 seed. Now I ended up being the 4 seed and beat the Yoshi Eggs to advance to the World Series and a play-in since 14 is the same record. By the way, in case you're wondering, the worst team that season was Monkey Man. Now, something I should mention is in the off season, Mario, my captain, was traded to Monkey Man for 2 firsts, and Wario and Bowser Jr. became my captain. Luigi became Monkey Man's captain, and he ended up getting 5th place. Yeah, disappointing considering the super team he had, especially since I had Daisy as well. And in the playoffs, I beat the Yoshi Eggs, and the Peach Monarchs beat the Waluigi Spitballs. And in the World Series, I ended up winning against the Peach Monarchs. Moving into season number 7 now, where Funky Kong hit the reserves. As far as I can remember, there was only one notable trade, being Luigi was traded to me. I forget the trade package. I think it was the 3rd round pick. And Mario became Monkey Man's captain finally. And in season 7, it was me as the 1 seed. The number 2 seed was GM2. Number 3 seed was Monkey Man in his return to the playoffs. And GM1 ended up being the 4 seed. I beat GM1, and the Waluigi Spitballs got swept by a Monkey Man. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, GM2 has lost 7 games in a row against Monkey Man, which is really funny. So I ended up beating Monkey Man in the World Series. Now moving on to season 8, GM1 blew it up again, trading Yoshi to Monkey Man for 1st and a 2nd, and as his new captain, he chose Wario, who had a great stint with my team. Sad to see him go, but in his place, I ended up acquiring Daisy from. She was a free agent, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Besides that, the only other person that blew it up was LB Swimmer, who traded Diddy Kong to. He traded Diddy Kong to GM1, who also got DK, and he ended up choosing Bowser Jr. to be his captain again. And GM3 left the league, so replacing him, we had GM4. Yeah, and he kept Peach as his captain. So moving on to season number 8 now, I was the 1 seed. The number 2 seed was GM2. Number 3 seed was pretty sure it was Who was it? GM. The 3 seed was Monkey Man. The 4 seed was GM1 again. LB Swimmer came in last place as he failed to win a game, holding the tied record for the worst seed in the league, and GM4 came 5th. And the World Series, I ended up beating Monkey Man to win the World Series again. Season number 9 now, and GM4 blew it up. He traded Peach to LB Swimmer for a second round pick, and in his place, GM4 ended up making Luigi his captain. Now moving on to season number 9 now. Season 9 was the last season we have played, and this one I ended up being the 1 seed. The 2 seed was GM1. The 3 seed was GM2, and the 4 seed LB Swimmer finally returned to the playoffs for the first time in like 4 goddamn seasons. Yeah. And then this ended up meaning, and I ended up playing in the World Series GM1 for the first time since season 2. And I ended up beating GM1 in 4 games. So now over the off season, some of the notable changes that have happened. I traded my captain Bowser to Monkey Man for a first and a second. Monkey Man traded his captain Mario to LB Swimmer for a first and Bowser Jr. I ended up making my captain Yoshi because he was free agent. Yoshi's my favorite player. And a favorite Mario character. Monkey Man's new captain was Bowser, and LB Swimmer's new captain is Peach. And as of recording this, the draft is happening very soon. It is happening next Tuesday, or this upcoming Tuesday. And then season 10 will begin. Now, a quick recap of awards. Season for MVP: season 1 was Luigi, season 2 was Mario, season 3 was Firebo, season 4 was Blue Pianta, season 5 was Waluigi, season 6 was Yoshi, season 7 was Pink Yoshi. Season 8... Oh, hold on. I may have erred and made a slight miscalculation. I think Pink Yoshi was the season 8 MVP. I forget who was the season 7 MVP. That doesn't really matter, but because in season 9 it was Light Blue Yoshi that won MVP. And yeah, that is it. So, if you want to see more content like this, at 100 subscribers, I'll do a 1-hour video on the FNAF Timeline. At 500 likes, a video on Greyjoy's Rebellion. And at 35k views, I'll be going over a video on the Game of Thrones Season 8 theories. But until then, bye!